the nothing.
Know that the ride or die.
Welcome to the House of the Princess.
I keep waiting by my seat. Know that the ride or die.
I'm 50% righteous, 50% ratchet.
We hustle, what's the nothing?
Waiting by my seat. Know that the ride or die. My name came up a lot of sounds. More when
Thank
I
y'all
was not
for joining
around.
us.
Certain people that I know.
Hi, everybody. How you doing today? This is me, Princess AV, and you're on my channel called Princess AV Tried It, where I may not like it, but at least you know I tried it. So we're starting this new page. I ask that you press the like button if you like what I'm doing, and that you would definitely support me and hit the subscribe button because we're just starting out and I need to get up in these algorithms. So it is greatly appreciated. We got a little ways before monetization, but I do appreciate all of your support on this channel. We will be reviewing movies, music, vlogs, blogs, different restaurants and places that I go to. So I'm trying to work to get content up. I still got some content from way before, but I'm going to put it out here. So this is 2 days in a row. You finna get a video. Originally, I wasn't going to do this movie, but I was going to even wait to watch it because I had like other movies that I just wanted to see, and y'all know how that goes. But it kept coming on my screen, and I just decided to watch it. And it is very inspiring. And this movie, it has me thinking, like, why aren't we talking about it? Why aren't a lot of people watching it? So it's actually not so much a movie, but it's a limited series. And you should know by now, it's Colin in black and white. And this movie is about the football player, Mr. Colin Kaepernick. I'm not a football fan. I know about football because I've been a cheerleader. I've been a majorette in my day. So of course I've watched a football game or two. I played some touch football in, extracurricular time, but being deep into it, no, I have not been. But I always liked Colin Kaepernick because I thought he was cute. But what I really love about this story, it's so inspiring. It's a story about manifestation. And there are a lot of underlying things that we talk about in that series. And it is also produced by Ava Duvernay. And we know that she is a beast with it right now. And the two of them together, working together to put this piece together, it comes out wonderfully. And I think it should be pushed more than what it is. So I want to do my part in promoting this limited series, and I want you guys to see it. So I'm not going to give away everything, but I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of what happens in each episode. This is a 6-episode series. It is roughly, each episode is about 20 to 30 minutes, average 30 minutes. So I got done with this in a day. It's like watching a movie, and it's so encapsulating. Like once you start watching it, you want to see the next episode. So I watched it this Saturday while I was chilling, doing my work, and God knew I needed that to see that day because it motivated me and it uplifted me. So episode 1, it's called Cornrows, okay? And it's about well, first of all, let me backtrack. All of the episodes take place from Colin's 8th grade year to going into his freshman year of college. And we all know these are your formative years when you're finding yourself, when you're getting to know yourself. So him being an athlete and being a Black athlete or biracial athlete belonging to a white family, learning about your regular identity as a person and then learning your identity as your Blackness as best as you can and navigating through these times, it was hard for him. So I know he had it even harder than the average young boy. So in episode 1, he's in the 8th grade. That's when you get a real good introduction to him. And it centers around his hair. It's called Cornrows. And you can tell that he's a big fan of Allen Iverson. You're introduced to him as not only a football player that we all know, but he's also a basketball player and a baseball player. So he was not a one trick pony. He was good at a lot of sports and he was great at them all, whatever he put his mind to. So that kept him off the streets, that kept him busy. And I'm sure it was a big investment when you got kids that are into extracurriculars. So, when you're biracial or black, you have problems with your hair. And his mother, and he comes from a two-parent home, his mother really didn't know how to deal with him with his hair. And he's growing in that season where he wants to be hip and he wants to be cool and liking girls or whatever. So he ended up getting his hair done in one place. It didn't work out. And then she finally asked help from her black counterparts to introduce him to the urban culture and how to get his hair done. Unfortunately, it just didn't sit well with his white counterparts. And he ended up basically being racially discriminated against. And even his parents, they really weren't feeling it. And I think what this first chapter it resonates is that for me, it was partially unfortunate that he was raised by a white mother and father because they could not identify with him. And I think that they were subconsciously racist about a lot of things just because they couldn't identify with what he was feeling. And it isolated him some days because he was made to feel bad about liking things that were urban or were natural to our culture as Black people. And he had to assimilate. And sometimes you need to assimilate, and it doesn't feel good. And I don't think he had the correct reasons, to assimilate. And they couldn't explain it to him in the correct way. So you'll see some nuances in that. I'm not going to give it all away. Then we have episode 2 is called quarterbacking. So now he's graduated 8th grade and he's going into his freshman year of high school. And we know that sets the tone when you have to play sports. And it's that point where he told everybody, like, look, I'm a quarterback. I'm going to be a quarterback. And he was big headed. He thought he was just going to come in and play JV and be the quarterback. And they was like, oh, slow your roll, Tito. Not only he was dealing with racial discrimination, that they taught him some lessons about himself, that he's not as big and bad as he thinks he is, and that he still has a lot to learn. And you see that change in him not giving up, but instead learning to learn what he needed to learn in football so that he really could be the best leader that he could be. And then his parents go the extra mile to get him the help that he needs in order to do that. And you saw a good dynamic between Colin and his father trying to understand what his needs are and then helping him. And also there were a lot of times where he just helped him by just trying to leave him alone and let him navigate through things himself and learn on his own as a man. And then we have episode 3. It's called Road Trip. So in this episode, you'll see him with the tournament team as he's blossoming in baseball. And he was excellent in baseball. And this is something, again, that I had no idea of. And during these episodes, you also see a lot of little quips about being Black. This one's a study about being Black and baby dolls and how we automatically think that Black is bad. And so every episode he gives history, I forgot to say that, about how oppression is built in the Black community just systematically. And I loved that he taught you something and tied it into the episodes. So in this one, he's going to baseball tournaments and he would be in the hotels and they were staring at him, or they were racially profiling him, or when he tried to identify with other black children, the black children say, well, we are racially profiled here, and he couldn't understand it. He couldn't understand why his white counterparts and friends were not looked at in a negative way, and they were doing a lot of craziness and they were disobeying the rules, but they got away with it, and they had white privilege and he didn't. And even when he was with his white parents, they thought that he was harassing them, that he didn't know them, those types of things. And you see, even in the preview, there's a police stop there, and the police just ignored the fact that he was with his parents. They just saw a black face, or a brown face with nappy or curly hair with these white people. So he was made to feel really bad at a young age and feel things that I feel that he should not have felt at those ages. You're talking about 16, but I guess 14, 15, 16, it happens in America. This is a steady happening in America. And it doesn't stop. So now we go to episode 4. So he's like a junior in high school now. And episode 4 is called The Decision. And he also introduces us to Ramari Bearden, the famous artist. And he goes into the history of Ramari Bearden. And again, this is something that I was not privy to, that I did not know about, that I had never looked up. And then I was very captured by the story. And it just makes me want to study some more history. You know what I'm saying? So he's got all these baseball offers. I guess I'm speculating he's probably damn near number 1 in the country. And he has every baseball offer that he could ever want. But he decides, I want to be a quarterback and play football. And he's constantly said this. His whole high school career is, I want to play football. And then everybody's telling him, but you're great at baseball. You should be a baseball player. And he's got all of these offers, and he's like, I'm going to hold out to playing football. And in the meantime, you see his dynamic between his friends change. They're going about their regular lives, and they know that he's great, and he's still trying to be regular, or he's trying to do things that his white counterparts do. And they're letting him know, you can't do this. You're greater than this, and you're not white, okay? And you have so much to offer. You have so much to do in your life that we want you to go be great. But at the same time, we know how fickle the United States is, and the crowd is. And in his little town, they weren't feeling him not wanting to play baseball. They're like, excuse me, you're making the worst decision in your life. Go take the money, get out of here. We're betting on you. And it wasn't that for him. It was what was in his heart, not what people wanted him to do. So then that leads us to episode 5. It's called Crystal. So now he's thinking about dating, and this is between junior and senior year, basically senior year. And he has his eye on a cheerleader named Crystal, which happens to be very brown skinned. And these are also remnants you see of how even Black people racially discriminate against Black people, how we are taught that lighter skin is better, how white girls are better than Black girls. They are the model, the picturesque thing that we need to be, the prototype of what we need to be. Just as women, period, is in how men choose the white girl, especially, we can be candid, in athletics, that's all you see is they choose the white women. Dark-skinned Black women usually aren't chosen. They like young women that are passing or light or exotic looking. And he just liked a regular girl, and she was pretty, but it just wasn't the traditional perception of beauty. So we delved into that. And also, he went to, a couple of dances, and you see the culture difference with the Black people, where we celebrate going to these things and gather together as a family. And it wasn't so much of the hoopla with the white family. And I can definitely identify with that with my own children, where, my son was in a predominantly white area, and they didn't do as much. They just got in a group together, took pictures. He took a Uber to prom, didn't want me, and he was in a different state, didn't want me to send a card, none of that. He was just playing whatever. But here in the urban areas, we do it up. We go overboard sometimes, in fact, and waste a lot of money. Everybody in the neighborhood has to come, friends and family. It's a big celebration. So you see the different dynamic in that. And episode 6 is Dear Colin. This is the culmination of everything, where you really see him get down. He really tries hard, though, to push through. He's a senior in high school. He's going to all of these sports camps. He's going to all of these auditions. He's doing so much to try to make it work. He's determined to be a football player, and in fact, a quarterback. When they wanted to give him other positions, he was like, no, I am a quarterback. And I can't do anything but admire that from him. The determination, the manifestation of saying, this is what I want. I've worked hard for it. I'm talented enough to have it, and I'm going to have it. And again, so many people told him he was stupid. And there are times you could tell that he felt stupid. Am I making the right decision? I'm giving up all these scholarships. I'm giving up the draft. Even on the news, they're telling him, like, he's a disappointment. But his family was there to support him. Whatever decision that he made, they stayed with him. They held his hand. They encouraged him whichever way they could, spiritually, financially, and emotionally. And in the end of this series, of course, we know how this ends in life. He gets literally that one call from college telling them that they wanted him to play. And it was just so interesting in the poetry of how it happens. And I'll leave that for you to watch, in the end, like, you wouldn't have thought that it was going to be that way, but it happened that way. And it was amazing. And it's like you wanted to jump and cheer for him as well as you were watching. So it's definitely a feel-good movie series, and it's definitely thought-provoking series from Colin Kaepernick and Ava Duvernay. I am proud of him learning his purpose. And this is another message that is pushed through the whole series. Learning your purpose, knowing your purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, keep working until you find it. And sometimes your purpose is not even what you think it is. There's a quote in the movie that said, where you finish may not be where you started. I think this is good for you to let your children see, as well as adults to see, to know that we don't never have to give up. Never have to give up if you put your mind to it. So though that is my review of Colin in black and white. You can find this movie on Netflix. So if you're paying your little $14.99 or you got it for the $3.99, you can find it on Netflix. It is trending. It is one of the top 10 movies. Go check it out. Let me know in the comments what you think. Y'all converse back with me, okay? Also, make sure again that you hit the like button and the subscribe button. And if you really want to do me a bid, hit the notification bell. and you'll know exactly when I'm going live or uploading a video. Also, share this video. Sharing gets the video out, it gets the word out, and others can watch and hear what I have to say. So again, also go in the description box. You'll see my other channel is Princess. This is Princess AV. Tried it. I'm getting used to this, y'all. But go over to the House of the Princess, where I do commentary on that page. My most recent video was the Crown Jewels panel, and that's about the Housewives of Potomac. And it's a fun, good time if you're into that kind of stuff. So also support my businesses, Royalty Beauty Brands, and the Intimate Dutchess. The links are in the bottom, as well as my Amazon wish list. So I thank all of y'all for your support. I thank you for watching. Princess AV tried it. So you have a good day. Bye-bye.